Off the coast of Western Australia, the Indian Ocean shimmered under the midday sun. Miles away from civilization, a lone diving vessel floated above an uncharted reef, where marine biologist and diver Jake Harper prepared for his next descent. Jake had been chasing a legend, rumors from deep-sea fishermen and local myths about strange metallic debris washing ashore in remote places. Jake slipped into his wetsuit and checked his oxygen tanks, excitement and curiosity coursing through him. Today's dive was special. A deep-water scan from his ship had detected an anomaly resting at the ocean floor. The readings were bizarre, suggesting a large metallic object buried beneath coral and silt. With a splash, Jake descended into the blue abyss, leaving the world above behind. The water was cold, darkening as he dove deeper. Around him, colorful schools of fish scattered, and strange rock formations began to appear. After 20 minutes, the anomaly came into view. His breath caught in his throat. Before him lay what looked like a massive ship, partially buried under centuries of coral growth. Its structure was unlike anything Jake had ever seen. Sharp, angular lines with a metallic surface that shimmered faintly, despite the thick layer of ocean debris covering it. This wasn't a wreck from any known human vessel. It had no windows, no recognizable propulsion systems, and its size dwarfed any submersible he had ever seen. Jake floated closer, his heart pounding. The vessel seemed eerily intact, as though it had crash-landed but not broken apart. He switched on his flashlight, illuminating what looked like a hatch. The metal was etched with symbols. Unfamiliar, alien. Against his better judgment, he reached out, brushing sand off the surface. As his hand made contact, the symbols lit up, glowing a faint blue. Startled, Jake pulled back, watching in disbelief as the hatch slowly creaked open, releasing a trail of ancient bubbles into the surrounding water. Jake's instincts screamed at him to surface, to report what he had found, but curiosity drove him deeper. He aimed his light into the open hatch, revealing a dark tunnel leading into the ship. Bracing himself, he swam inside. The interior was vast. Metallic corridors stretched into the distance, and strange objects floated in the water. Tools? Artifacts? Something about the design felt wrong, disjointed, as if the beings who built it followed an entirely different logic. As Jake moved deeper into the ship, he noticed what looked like stasis pods, their translucent surfaces covered in algae. He approached one cautiously, wiping away the grime. Inside, a form was barely visible, a figure humanoid but different. It had elongated limbs, pale skin, and strange protrusions along its spine. Jake's stomach lurched. This was no ordinary shipwreck. This was a discovery that could change everything. Suddenly, a faint hum filled the chamber. The ship was powering up, awakening after centuries. Jake's flashlight flickered as the ship's walls began to glow softly, lighting the way forward. He swam deeper, propelled by both fear and fascination. At the heart of the ship, he found a large chamber that seemed untouched by time. A holographic display flickered to life, showing a rotating image of Earth, marked with red points of interest, cities, military bases, and research stations. He could only guess the alien intentions were far from peaceful. As Jake's eyes scanned the room, he noticed something even more disturbing. Cases, each containing bizarre artifacts, some clearly weapons. One, however, stood out. It was a strange crystalline device, pulsating with energy, almost alive in its containment field. Jake realized with a chill that this was likely some sort of weapon, a doomsday device, or worse. His oxygen was running low, but before he could turn to leave, a shadow moved across the far side of the room. Jake froze, heart pounding. The figure from the stasis pod, the alien, stood before him, its eyes glowing with an eerie intelligence. The alien made no aggressive move, but Jake could sense its confusion, its disorientation. Somehow, the creature was alive, awake after untold centuries. It regarded him silently before gesturing toward the holographic display of Earth. Its mouth moved, producing garbled, unintelligible sounds. Then, With a flash of its glowing eyes, Jake's mind was flooded with images. An invasion fleet, cities burning, a timeline that had been halted, barely, by some cataclysm or decision centuries ago. Whatever this ship was, it had been part of a larger plan. An invasion halted before it could begin. But now that the ship was found, Jake feared that ancient plan could resume. Jake knew he had to leave. This discovery wasn't just an archaeological find. It was a ticking time bomb. He swam back through the corridors, the alien watching him as though it understood what he was about to do. He surfaced breathless, scrambling aboard his vessel and immediately radioing the nearest authorities. "This is Jake Harper. I've found something alien." Within hours, the Australian Navy and international organizations had descended on the area, sealing off the site. Scientists, military personnel, and diplomats from across the world scrambled to study the alien craft and its dangerous contents. The news spread like wildfire. An alien ship, a potential weapon of unimaginable power, and an unknown alien species. The world was shaken to its core. Questions of humanity's place in the universe resurfaced. Were they alone, or was this just the beginning of something much larger? For Jake Harper, the discovery changed his life forever, but it also opened a door that could never be closed. And deep beneath the ocean, the alien ship remained, its secrets still waiting to be fully understood. The world would never be the same.